Hey everybody, how are you doing? This is LeonNaranjo, the fourth candidate for governor in the 2026 election race. Let me get my little camera here resolved. Get this issue fixed. There we go. I'm in my car right now, and I was getting ready to drive around and do a quick little video about last night's debacle debate. And then it hit me. If I do that, the way that California's been cracking down recently on drivers and other devices in their possession, that could turn really ugly. So we're not going to do it. We're just going to do it right here from the sitting position, and go from there. Many of you probably watched the debate last night. I haven't seen it in its entirety. Thank goodness that some 20, 30 years have passed by where now we could record things like this, since VHS and DVD players no longer relevant. We have pay-per-view, we have direct TV, we have recording, stop, pause, replay, all those other neat things that technology has given us in today's world we didn't have like 30 some odd years ago. I'm going to probably pop off some fast videos through that debate. I want to watch it in its entirety to see, what was said, how it was said, who spoke, what the questions were, and I want to do short video clips on every question that they provided. The template's kind of easy. It's only 30-second shot answers. And my little timer right here that you don't see will be good to let me know as I look at it that I only have 30 seconds to respond, which is really funny because I'm one of the few candidates who have been on a stage and have provided 45-second answers to questions that came from nowhere. These questions may have done the same for the contestants that were on that stage, but I'm not too sure about that. 45 seconds is hard to provide an answer when you're having shotgun questions thrown at you on topics you know nothing about. When you're a little bit more forewarned, or you know the question in advance, unless it's a topic you're really boned up and honed up on, you don't come off as polished as what I saw last night. And I didn't see a whole lot of it last night, but what I did see is very disconcerting. Oh, you've got the pundits cheering on Chad. Yay, Bianco kicked ass. You got the people on the other side of the aisle. Hey, Steve Hilton kicked ass. Okay, whatever. That's a wait to be seen moment. Let's get a different point of view from somebody who is not vested in either one of those two people, because both of those two people stood on a stage with me in a forum type environment. Mr. Bianco in Danville, California. And 9 hours later, Mr. Hilton in Yorba Linda, California. So that's a straight drive from one event to the next day to another event. And I stood on the forum with both of those gentlemen. Mr. Bianco in Danville had 30 minutes. They only allowed me for 10. And he didn't fare too well in that forum. Mr. Hilton didn't fare too well in Yorba Linda in front of the Pat Nixon group. Matter of fact, on that stage is where he made his famous, it might be illegal, but we have to amend the Constitution to declare bankruptcy in California in order to fix our union pension problem through CalPERS. That's where he made that famous statement. Chad Bianco wants to eliminate taxes for everybody. Let's do away with gas tax. Let's do away with property tax. Hell, let's do away with income tax. There's no tax that Chad Bianco can't make go away. And I applaud some of his efforts to make taxes go away. Hell, I've said that in my speech. I want to see a few of them knocked down and reduced as well, if not outright disappeared. But people, that's the difference between somebody like myself who has worked budgets where you have to account for every dime, every dollar, every cent in your budget. Where did it go? Where did it come from? How did it leave? Where my experience is way above Chad Bianco's, you have to do that with foreign money as well as U.S. money. I've got over 15 years experience doing that. He has not. So when you're counting at the end of the day from 3 different offices up to $3 or $4 million, granted, it's not the billions that he has, but he hasn't dealt with billions in cash. He dealt with billions in budget, number crunchers. We dealt with cash, with checks, with negotiable instruments, with checks with serial numbers, with checks without serial numbers. Yes, there's a hell of a lot more running a small office in Europe than he thinks or than anybody else realizes. So when you have a daily fluctuation rate of an income, and you have to match that with your ledger in the U.S. version and put it in U.S. dollars and cents, it becomes a tad bit challenging when you do that every day. Mr. Bianco doesn't have to worry about nuances or glitches or errors or anything like that. His budget comes from his county. All he does is submit a request. Hey, I'm short $500 million, and the county will figure out how to pay that to him. How do you think you go from $250 million budget to a $1.2 billion budget? Somebody is overspending or creatively spending, or what we also call creative accounting, to puff up numbers to that level. And that's not over a long period of time. That's at least 4 or 5 years of time. And that's amazing. Nobody has audited him. The county is responsible, Leo. Yeah, but the county also gets its money from the state. And you don't think as governor that I wouldn't start looking at why you're excessively spending on one sheriff department? That's where you start the audits. That's where you start uncovering where the nonsense is in that spending level. Because it might be coming from the citizens of Riverside, but it's also coming from the state of California, which is every citizen up and down this state. We're paying for that mess. And while Mr. Bianco likes to brag about how he overwhelmingly won his department, please note, in 2022, when Sheriff Bianco was elected, he only had one opponent. 2 people running for the same seat. Together, both of these men could barely muster 200,000 voters, less than that, to vote for either one of them. That's less than 13% of the eligible voter population in Riverside County. 200,000 people, Chad? Your county is 1.3 million eligible voters in strength. You yourself, being nice, only got around 12% of the vote. Well, that's awful funny. Seems to be the number that you consistently poll near in all the polls for the last 2 years. Less than 15%. You're not moving, sir. You've hit that ceiling. The top of my screen right here, yeah, that's about where you keep bouncing up and down. This is what growth is. This is what attracting people to your cause is. This is what getting voters to align behind you is. You go up, and then you might taper a little bit, and then you start slowly but surely increasing until, guess what? See how my finger disappears from the screen? That's called breaking the ceiling. Something you haven't done. You brag about balancing your budget. Well, yeah, I'd brag about balancing my budget as well if I never have to worry about shortages, because the county always seems to come through for your department. Why is that? At taxpayer expense, no less. You're far from a fiscal conservative. What you are to me, and I've used this word online many times, so now you get to hear it online in this YouTube video, is you're a coward with a badge and 33 years of experience that for some ungodly reason seems remiss and afraid to debate a 36-year experience military retiree. Let the people see that debate happen on stage. Let the people see 2 experienced individuals go at it on stage. Your singular experience of Riverside County and my worldly experience on stage with you. That would be a debate. Not this KTLA San Francisco demo debate with 4 Dem candidates in a Dem city with a Dem audience with Dem questions, the whole thing basically geared to figuring out for the Democrats who they need as their top 2 contenders. This wasn't a debate of fairness or evenness. This was a debate for selection and anointment on the Democratic side of the House. And you, sir, seem to be a little slow in understanding that concept. So with that, I got to cut this video. You guys have a great afternoon. LeonNaranjo4governor.com. Look me up, check me out, answer some questions, ask some questions, and I'll get you the answers. And we'll be on this shortly when I resume some video podcasting. God bless you all. Take care. Love you guys. Thank you for your support, and we'll talk to you later.